On March 26, 2026, the Texas teacher retirement system reported a catastrophic, unrecoverable collapse of public pension funds. Millions of teachers, firefighters, and state workers who dedicated their lives to Texas are waking up this morning to realize their promised retirement money has vanished. The wealth in these accounts has been permanently destroyed. These billions are not coming back with the next market cycle. A multi-billion-dollar black hole has violently opened right in the heart of Austin's financial apparatus, devouring decades of state employee contributions. The reliable safety net for the Texas middle class snapped overnight. A lifetime of guaranteed security has instantly become a statewide economic emergency. To understand where the money went, we have to look at the math over the last decade. This chart shows a flat, low-trajectory line representing safe bond yields against a steeply rising target line that represents required pension payouts. Historically low bond yields made it mathematically impossible for Texas fund managers to meet their future obligations using traditional safe investments. Facing a massive shortfall, managers engaged in yield chasing. Yield chasing is a strategy where investors take on increasingly reckless levels of risk to generate higher returns than safe assets can provide. To close the mathematical gap, they abandoned the safety of government bonds entirely. They took billions of dollars in taxpayer and worker contributions and handed the capital directly to Wall Street private equity firms. Private equity firms are investment companies that pool capital to buy and manage private, non-public businesses, often using massive amounts of borrowed money. The managers struck a simple bargain. Wall Street promised high returns that would supposedly plug the state's pension deficit, and in exchange, they extracted massive management fees up front. Driven by the desperate need to make the math work, the state secretly transformed a secure public trust into a highly leveraged, unregulated casino bet. Wall Street chose to park that massive influx of Texas capital into heavily leveraged luxury commercial real estate, or CRE. Commercial real estate refers to properties used exclusively for business or income generation, rather than residential living. The workers' retirement funds were aggressively pumped into physical assets, glittering, hyper-modern office towers spread across the skylines of Dallas, Houston, and Austin. Then the foundation cracked. A permanent shift toward remote and hybrid work left those massive corporate spaces vacant, triggering a total collapse of the commercial office market. As corporate tenants let their leases expire and abandon the buildings, the massive commercial loans attached to those properties defaulted. The pension funds' sprawling real estate portfolios were wiped out entirely. The life savings of millions of Texans died inside these empty skyscrapers, leaving behind only defaulted loans and vacant floors. Wall Street's physical monuments to corporate wealth became the exact mechanism that incinerated the life savings of the Texas working class. Consider a 65-year-old Texas public school teacher who planned to finally retire this coming summer after 4 decades in the classroom. Today, she is facing a 40% reduction to the fixed income she spent her entire adult life earning. This collapse hits at the worst possible moment. Years of severe inflation have already eroded her purchasing power, making every dollar stretch much less than it did a decade ago. With a slashed pension, she can no longer afford skyrocketing local property taxes or basic homeowners insurance. Her only remaining financial option is to cancel her retirement and continue working indefinitely. This chart demonstrates the mechanics of a defined benefit pension. A defined benefit pension is a retirement plan where an employer guarantees a specific payout upon retirement, regardless of how the underlying investments perform. As you can see, the mandated output box remains static and locked, but the input source is completely shifting away from a depleted pension returns channel and directly into a new taxpayer funds channel. The state of Texas is legally obligated to pay the promised amount. To fill this multi-billion-dollar void, the state will be forced to take severe measures. They will have to aggressively hike sales taxes, slash existing public services, and raise local property taxes even higher across the state. The chain of trust failed at every link. The workers trusted the state to manage their futures. The state blindly trusted Wall Street's promises, and Wall Street extracted their lucrative fees before walking away from the rubble untouched. On March 26, 2026, the financial burden of Wall Street's failed gamble shifted directly onto the public. Texas law now mandates that every citizen replenish these billions through their own taxes and diminished public services.